Hey YouTube. Okay, how should I begin this video? This is my second video, and I know your first 10 videos are just gonna suck. So the best thing I could do for myself is just practice and just upload anyway to not be afraid or have any anxiety of posting videos. This is, I guess, day 2 of my official challenge of building $1 billion startup solo. And I think one of the reasons, I guess, good things that have happened so far is last night I had my first user that actually was willing to join my Twitch chat, talk to me about what I was doing, and the person that found me also Vibecodes using Claude. And we had some back and forth. They were building a game. I tried out his game or their game, and that got me my first user. And I was thinking, this person was chatting with me, willing to try out my product and signed up for it. So I just gave them a free coupon to give them free access for the lifetime forever. And I think it was worth it because right now I have nobody to try my product. And what's even more interesting, I have a mint in my mouth because my throat is sore for talking so much. I've never talked this much before. And usually, ever since the days of COVID, I don't really talk to anybody that much. Funny, I know, right? But yeah, going back on that topic, I had somebody that was able to use my product and give me feedback the next day. And what's funny is the operating system that I normally code and develop in is Linux, specifically Pop! OS. It's an Ubuntu flavor distribution of Linux. And this user or person I was interacting with normally works on Windows. And I haven't worked on Windows in an extremely long time. And I do build my apps and tools in a framework that allows me to distribute to any operating system. And so when I got their feedback of hearing back that it crashes on their machine, I was like, oh no, it crashes their machine and it causes them not to work. But then they replied back and said it actually helps them secure their application that they're working on. They're working on a game. And I was like, oh, okay, so it works partly. So it sort of breaks, but it sort of works. But I guess that's off to a good start. Got some good feedback, rolling out some updates to help it be more stable. And I think that's really important because before for a whole month, I was just building in a silo. And I had no way to get feedback at all. Pretty much I was in the mindset of build it and they will come. But when I built it and tried to advertise in all these places, but I get my posts get banned, or my posts get filtered by Reddit or some other platform. And so my comments, my posts to any social media immediately get shadow banned because I created a new account and it's their algorithm thinks that I'm a bot trying to spam all this posts because of AI. And yeah, it's really hard to make it into the world when you try to release your product, because there's just so much gatekeeping going on for new users, and that makes it really hard for people that vibe coded an app and a product and trying to get it out in the world. And I guess maybe if I published in a popular store, like an app store, I might get more hits, more views, more advertisements on getting my product out there. But since I'm constrained on bootstrapping, I don't want to spend any money on advertising or anything like that. I don't want to pay a company a big share of my product, other than Stripe, to make revenue, because I'm locked in their ecosystem. And one is I need a MacBook. I do have a MacBook, but you need to buy a developer's license, which is $100 per year, which is kind of worth it. But I bought it a few times throughout the years. Never, nothing came out of it. So I'm at this point where I'm just gonna try out other things, keep my app on the web, to be distributed that way, and sell on Stripe. But yeah, it was really nice to see some traction, because I read a lot and watched a lot of videos, hearing that when you first stream for your first day, or create your first video for the first day, or first few days, that you'll get 0 views, and you'll get 0 people chatting with you, you'll get 0 people interacting with you. But so far that hasn't happened. At least the people that I'm talking to are actual users or people, because they signed up through Google or through GitHub, OAuth authentication, so it's not a bot. They're chatting with me, and I set up restrictions in my channels, in my Twitch and YouTube, to make sure that the users have to be following me and watching for a few minutes in order to actually interact with the chat. Because when I didn't have those settings, I would just get a bunch of bots, Russian bots, posting links in the stream. And pretty much to be safe, I just disabled all links from there. So creating that barrier so that I won't get spammed by bots, because the world is filled with bots. Thankfully, all the AI companies have tightened up on the usage of OpenClaw, and so we got less smart bots, more dumb bots, which is good. But yeah, so far so good. Found a few bugs here and there. I'm sort of pivoting towards the dev tools to Vibecode. So far, I created an app to do voice to text. And then the next app that I want to work on is eye tracking, so that I could live in a world where I could just look at a section in my terminal, blink, it'll click into that terminal, and then talk. It'll automatically translate and dictate into text, and then submit, and then let Claude Code do the rest of the work. So creating more Vibe tools, sort of pivoting to that community as well, Vibe coding community, just to make it more user friendly, because I guess the only way to break into consumer apps is just to target the users that are interested, don't have the full grasp of technology yet on how it works. So creating tools to make it easier for them is probably what I'll be doing. A lot of the people that join my stream, maybe watch my videos, are pretty young, and they're just interested on how to get better. They don't have the experience of using Linux. They haven't used a terminal before, and Claude Code is their first exposure to it, because they hear great things. And yeah, I'll probably just be making some content maybe in the future, mainly during streams, of just going over stuff and answering people's questions on how things work. And from there, I also started working on the onboarding experience, making that a lot easier. Because, while I was, talking to a few folks and giving them coupons to give them free access to my platform, I noticed that when I was first walking them through it, I was talking a lot. I was actually like explaining a lot of how to go to this website, then log in, then scroll down, click on this button to trigger the Stripe billing process, and then here's the coupon to type in, and then this will allow you to get free access. And then it doesn't stop there, because once they redeem it, they have to download NPM if they don't have it, and then download my tool that I have, my product, and then run a command to actually activate the product's licensing. I mean, they don't technically need to do that. They could just sort of use it for free by just downloading it and logging in. But I wanted to create a frictionless experience on onboarding. So I'm Vibecoding a solution to create a magic link so that the user or customer would just get this link, and then it will just like practically do everything for them, or explain what's going on. And I think that's very important, because I think that's why people create tutorials on how to use their product. They know that there are going to be people that will not read the documentation. They'll just like install it. They'll say, what the heck's this? And then uninstall it. And from users' experience, you lose that traction of getting an actual valid customer. And I feel like, you just gotta do what you have to do to make it easier and remove the friction, because how else will you make your product addictive? And I guess one of the tips that I learned in the past is, to create a good product, you have to make the customer feel or have a habit. Habits create addiction, stickiness, and value. Like an example is, if you were to go for a run every day, or start going for a run to exercise, you begin to build a habit, a healthy habit, and you'll know every time you don't go out for a run that you will feel bad because you're not doing your normal habit. And so when you feel bad, you start to go and exercise and actually go out for the run and tell yourself not to be lazy. That's the type of stickiness I wanted to at least provide. Allow users to feel secure using the app or product that I make, so that they'll feel safe when using the product. And they don't have to think of their AI going crazy when it does something it's not supposed to. But yeah, it has been a journey. I think I told in my previous video that you could create the product and no one will come, right? There's that, especially when you have zero connection. I'm coming from a background where I didn't create any social media for the past, 10, 20 years, or probably, 10 plus years. And so I don't use LinkedIn. I don't use Facebook. I don't text people or call people on phones. It's just, I guess it's a habit of just staying on the internet and not interacting with people. But I feel like a lot of people are in this exact situation where ever since COVID, we are beginning to feel parasocial and not interact with actual people and just stay online and interact with personalities on the internet. And I think that's going to be tough. And so one of the main things to learn when making a business is to create your community or join a community. And if you don't see one that meets your needs, just start it yourself. Especially if you want to lead it and you want people to follow you, you just got to do it. And even though you think you're not good enough, I think there's nothing stopping you because you could just do it. The hard part is trying to bring value to users or people that you've never met before. An example is if you're watching this video right now, I've never met you, but I hope we could meet someday in Discord or something like that and say hi, say hello, and see if we could help each other out. Because I think with the world of AI, money might not matter anymore, and the only thing that will matter is connection and family, community. And if you have that, you'll be very rich. You'll be socially rich. You'll have social capital. You'll have, an example is, let's say you have a car and it breaks down and you don't know how to repair it, but you know somebody that does, and you're close enough friends that they'll just do it for you for free. The only thing they have to pay for is the parts. And so that's the type of social capital that goes a long way, especially when it comes to connections. When you need to find customers, and the only way to do that is to vouch for others using referrals and leads to finally target the right person for your product. Oh yeah, that's another big hurdle for a product like mine. If I want to target enterprise, I have to be SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, which means I have to be audited by a third-party provider, and it'll take like 6 months to do so, and I might not have the patience for that. I need to get paid now, so that's why I pivoted to just targeting directly to consumers. B2C is what they call it. And that way I could have some paying users while I build up the reputation over time to get audited, get compliance certified, and be secure enough to sell to actual enterprises. Because I feel like, how else do you reach 1 billion? To reach 1 billion, you need, customers that have money, for one, and the economy is not doing so well, right? The only companies that have money are the big tech companies that are buying other companies out. And I think that's what I'll have to pursue, is getting bought out. Create something mainstream, get popular, get bought out. That's the plan. I see no other scenario where I become a billionaire just from B2C, unless there's some rich oiler that's able to just fund me all in one go. We've already seen it with a few companies. They haven't reached the $1 billion mark yet when they were bought out, but let's say maltbook.com, which was a social media for AI agents, was bought by Facebook. And so it was probably undisclosed, but it was probably a few 100 million or 10 million type of thing. There was also OpenClaw, which was bought by OpenAI and made by one person. And that was probably a few 100 million there too, but he ended up working for OpenAI, so that's sort of weird. And then OpenClaw became a product no one could use anymore. It is hilarious. But the product, OpenClaw and Maltbook, were made within a month and bought within a month. So I just need to create a product that's really popular, and that will just get bought out. But to reach $1 billion, I'll have to reject every single $100 million plus offer there is, which is going to be tough. Really tough, because it's just so much money, right? Having that opportunity to make a couple 100 million and then declining it just because you want the goal of being of the billion, reaching the billion. Okay. Will I be able to break under that pressure? I'm not sure. Like, what do you think? Do you think I can make it? Will I sell early? Or will I, reject the offer and go for the mission? Break the record. Because so far, nobody wants to break the record. They just want to sell. Next thing that or at least examples, is Cursor. The team that made Cursor originally was 5 people, and right now they're being potentially bought, or have a deal to get bought for $60 billion, which would make every founder of that company a billionaire. And yeah, that's crazy. They made a tool that just is a VS Code clone exactly, and is just able to use multiple models and has pre-indexing of the code base, or a technology that just encode and index the code base for AI to easily understand. It sounds easy, just me saying it, but it happened. And surprisingly enough, I don't know how they became compliant with anything. Like, it really confuses me, because I think their partnership with OpenAI just gave them exclusively the rights to just use OpenAI models, and their app was sort of open source, partially open source, because it was built off of VS Code. But the fact that their enterprises were able to just use them right away, very surprising. So I'm going to keep talking until, my session resets for Claude. I know I met a person that was literally waiting in front of me. Oh, it seems to reset in 7 minutes from now, but I'll try to keep talking until the metrics of my YouTube video say that I shouldn't make videos this long. Looking at the metrics while I see it now, I will check my studio while I'm looking at this. But yeah, like, the journey so far is, right now I have 3 channel subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you for subscribing. And I have 20 views on my video, or not my video, but overall, I think I have 35 views and 2 comments. One of those comments are probably myself. And yeah, it's pretty much one comment, one official comment first is what I would say. But yeah, I was expecting to get 0 views for a while and then get funneled in later once I post on like Reddit or something. But after getting banned, apparently my accounts keep getting banned because I kept trying to automate making posts using AI, and then my account just immediately gets shadow banned and permanently banned, which is funny. And I was like, man, I can't rely on these sites. Like, I shouldn't need to rely on a specific provider to get me views, to get me traction. I should be able to do this without them. And so that's why I made this channel. That's why I'm streaming live right now, because I can't give up. I shouldn't give up, because it would just mean, the end of the road of how to, continue on with the journey of reaching 1 billion. And so, yeah, like, I really want to just keep on going. This will be a struggle. This will be hard. I heard that reaching 1,000 subscribers is going to be the hardest thing you'll ever do when being a content creator. And I believe it, because I think the only way to cheat is to actually contact your friends and say, hey, could you watch my video? Hey, could you download my app? To all your friends, to just get that traction, and tell them to like keep chatting in your chats to create traction and stuff. I don't have anybody. I'm starting from 0 followers, not even telling any of my friends, telling nobody that this exists. So I'm just going to keep it at that and keep the challenge on hard mode, and hopefully make it easier for other people that attempt this challenge to not give up as well. I think one of the lessons that I also learned from my first video was trying to seem interesting and having a goal for the beginning, the middle, the end of the video. And I will try to do that if I remember. Like, it's really funny how people create these high quality videos and they try to attract your attention at the beginning, saying that they're going to like change the world or see this amazing challenge, who's the winner type thing. But I don't have that yet. I don't have the production. All I have is a computer, a webcam, and knowledge. That's what everybody needs, right? Or might not need anymore because of AI. But yeah, like in terms of the topic to actually, I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I'm probably going to say the struggles of starting from nothing with 0 followers type of thing, maybe rant. Hope you guys liked the thumbnail from the first video. That was actually generated by Claude Design, but it looks pretty crappy. But I tried to do what I had to make the thumbnail. Like, one of the lessons that I learned is make an attractive, clickable thumbnail is like the number one you should be able to do. If you're able to do that, you're able to get people to click on your thumbnails or your video. It's a trap type of thing. Oh, also another thing that I've been experiencing after talking so much, even though it's not really talking that much at all, or maybe it's just the weather, but I'm starting to get a sore throat. Like, maybe it's because I caught a virus or a cold or something, but I feel it forming at the back of my throat, and I hope it's not COVID. That way I could continue streaming, talking, not letting this momentum die. Yeah, I gotta keep on going. Another thing that's gonna be difficult too is trying to stay healthy. Like, I usually go on a walk 2 times a day and cook some food. It's gonna be tough, but you know, people are dealing with harder problems right now, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. But the current counter for me, I forgot to say, the current counter for me in terms of number of users that I have, I think I have around 10 users. I have three users that signed up, which is awesome. I have 3 people that signed up, and yeah, that's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna create some metrics to track all this, but still at 0 revenue, and that's the main metric that I need to complete, is, you know, having more users visit the site, having more users sign up, and yeah, allow me to have a legitimate business. Like, I watched some videos where cold calling will probably be the next thing to try to get people to actually use the product. And yeah, like, for every 1,000 emails that you send, you'll get 1 user that will probably sign up or potentially be a customer. That's going to be a crazy grind. Hopefully I could automate it all. But yeah, trying to create an anonymous way of making money is tough. Really tough. But yeah, there's people in my situation probably dealing with the same struggle. And so, yeah, we just gotta not give up. There's gonna be plenty of more challenges in the way, like the app not working, crashing, doesn't work on somebody's machine. Site might go down because of a DDoS attack or exploit. I'm not worried about that, because right now I only have a few customers. I actually have 3 users who potentially might use the site and use the product, so that's pretty neat. Like, it's gonna be a journey, and we'll just keep moving on. Well, other thing that I could keep talking about is why do this every day? I think this is probably the last chance to create your company. You'll hear it a lot by a lot of people on the internet, famous people, rich people, saying that this will be the last time because AI is just going to do everything, right? But if that's the case, then there's people still need to manage those servers, and yeah, there's just going to be a lot of things to manage. What else? I think what I'm going to look forward to. Oh, there's also this debate whether I should buy 2 Claude Code accounts, because I'm currently on a Claude Max account. And I think I'm already at around 64% usage, and it's Saturday, and my reset day is Thursday. And so I'm most likely not going to make it. I'm going to have a few days where I don't have any Claude Code usage. I'm super dependent on it right now because it codes everything. If I don't have it, I feel like I don't have any superpowers anymore to set up everything and configuring everything. Because I did configure it to manage my Discord server. It set up all the channels, set up everything, and also set up like chat bots for my Twitch, metrics for my Twitch and YouTube, created some interactions to chat with Twitch chat and YouTube chat, deploy to production, manage and rotate secrets. It's doing everything. And I really feel like that really is going to be the case for the new world, right? You're just going to tell AI to do this, that. But once you don't have it anymore, you're going to be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? I should have just created a single line command to do this and that. And that's what I've been doing. But yeah, it's going to be tough having to triage what AI did to set something up. Another thing too is I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, which is great. And I recently got unlimited internet plan, so that's why I started streaming. I could not go over my limited internet bandwidth now, so I'm not afraid to download something too large or stream anymore, because that's probably one of the biggest things that caused me not to stream to begin with. But if I want to go all in, and I did say I was going to go all in, I'm going to need to buy way more subscriptions for Claude Code. But it sort of doesn't make any sense right now, because if my burn rate is around $200 something per month, and I've made $0, that means I'm doing something wrong. The math will not add up if I, do like $400 a month and I'm still negative. So I need to make a way to bump up that ratio. Otherwise, I won't have the opportunity to make any money or be profitable. I am pre-revenue, but it shouldn't really be like that. Pre-revenue should be at least break even with some slight expenses. I don't really want to deal with like having to figure out how to be profitable, and this hobby or challenge becomes a liability because I just spend too much on credits and become too addicted. So I really have to just control my burn rate, because that's the only way to survive. I think majority of companies that fail is because they don't have enough runway and they just burn all their money and they have no plan, and so they just can't continue anymore and they give up. And I don't want to be like that, because right now, if I do that, I'll go bankrupt and have no money to not only to spend on Claude credits and tokens, but no money to live. And I don't want to be in that situation either. Don't want to be homeless, because being homeless is hard. But yeah, I think I've struggled. The reason why I haven't given up now is because I've been in several worse situations, and I'm way better off now. That I don't care if I fail, because there's nothing to lose when you're trying. And in life, you just got to try, because if you give up 100% of the opportunities that are given to you or you don't take, you'll never have that 1% chance of succeeding. Also, the people that did succeed also get depressed if they don't have anything to do for the rest of their life. And this is something I could pretty much do for the rest of my life, tinker with computers and working with AI. I think I could do that for the rest of my life, because it's an expensive hobby, but it's pretty much keeps me looking forward to each day, because when you experience AI psychosis, you're pretty much coding 15 hours a day, every day. And it feels great. Even though you're like barely sleeping properly, you're just having fun the whole time, because your ideas become tangible, real work. All you need is imagination. But what doesn't have imagination is AI. Like, you could ask it, make me $1 billion company, and then I'll just ask you a bunch of questions instead of just doing it. So it's, you are the value, not the AI. The AI is just a very, very cheap employee. And now's the time to take advantage of it while they're cheap. Because there's going to be a time when like commoners like us won't be able to afford AI, and the knowledge will be restricted forever. So gain as much knowledge as you can, learn while you can, while the technology is available, because right now there is AI models like Anthropic's Mythos that won't be given to normal users like us, because it's too powerful. And that would also mean restricting the amount of knowledge given to us. So if you want to stay up to date, not get left behind, keep using AI. Use all of them. Pay for it. Ask it infinite amount of questions. Keep learning. Is the keeping up and staying on top of learning all the time, every day, will prevent you from being left behind. And I could already notice that, at on the news, on the forums, that users or employees that don't adopt will not only get laid off, they won't be able to be accepted by society, perhaps. There's going to be those groups, that stay offline, but they're going to be like the people that were the civilization left on an island not interacting with the rest of the world, and will be left behind. There'll be like a third world country. There'll be that won't know how to advance. So if you want to advance, you just got to adopt to the technology. You have to learn. You have to be open to learning. You have to learn how to read. And most importantly, you need to work fast, fail fast, and identify what you're doing is wrong or not. Because AI won't know if it's wrong. You have to contradict what it says and say, you're wrong, you missed this thing, you missed that thing. You didn't do this, you didn't look at it, you didn't look at the problem from this perspective. That's what working with AI has been so far. There has not been a one-shot moment for me yet where it actually does everything without an issue. There's always things to improve. There's always things that are broken or insecure, and you just gotta catch it in the act. I think the main downside too that I'm seeing is that we're gonna rely on AI so much that like it's doing the self-review of itself, of its own work. It will probably use unsafe code, vulnerable code produced by malicious actors or users that poison the data of the model, potentially. So creating security products is probably going to be one of the main things to stay in business, because without security, without tools for security, AI will be unstoppable. So we have to create tools for that. Another thing that I need to work on is marketing again. I keep not focusing on marketing enough. And so trying to post every day ideally would be a goal. But yeah, I would say the first 100 days is probably going to be the hardest 100 days of this whole thing. I could already tell right now. As soon as I fix my bad habits of creating content and marketing and polishing it all up, and this sore throat problem, it'll be better. I know it'll be. There's really nothing holding me back other than the money and cost of tokens. Knock on wood. But yeah, what to title this video is like, I would say day 2 is off to a good start. I think I have enough knowledge on the technical side to get something out there, but I need to work on people skills to find the right people and market to the right people. So I'll be working on that today, tomorrow, and see how that works, because I feel like I need the product to be perfect and good, addictive, and then the problem will solve itself. What do you think? What's the next step I should do for this day 2, day 3? Add your comments to the video, and I'll look at them, and we'll see where I'm at from there. And I'm really not sure how users find my video with 0 views. Is there like a bunch of people in the algorithm that are just like, this guy's talking about AI. So here's a recommended video about learning about AI and how to start a $1 billion business. But I'm at 50 minutes now, and yeah, I plan on making 50-minute long videos to rant about like my progress. Thanks again for watching, and if you made it through this video, thank you. Really appreciate it, and I hope I can make a product that you'll know and love. Thank you.